So I want to suggest that we need to put overzealous time and attendance monitoring into Room 101. There are definitely, let me get the caveats out of the way, there are definitely some organisations where you need to monitor what time people start and finish work. And there are potentially very valid reasons to do so. Having said that, in my 20 years in HR, I don't think I've ever worked in an organisation like that. So I'm banking on my experience being that people who are using overcomplicated time and attendance systems don't really need to. In my first HR role, we had a bespoke access-based system that you clicked a button and it registered the time. So people would do this in the morning, they would do it in the evening. And it was my job as the HR person to make sure it was all right. So I spent 3 days a month correcting people's inability to click at the right time. Or so I assumed, because the other thing I observed was at 4:55 every single day, there would be a crowd of people around a computer, literally poised like that, waiting for it to go, ding, 1700, click, I'm off. So it just encouraged this bizarre kind of approach to time management where people would stop work at 4:30, so they had 20 minutes to pack up and then go and stand by the computer. It's just bizarre. And not to mention the 3 days a month of my extremely valuable time wasted. For me, this is a classic case of observing inputs and not outputs. That old sort of statement around performance management about weighing the pig isn't going to make it get any fatter. You know, measuring the time that people are working is not going to tell you much about what they're doing in that time. And for me, nothing says I trust you less than clocking people in and out. And that's even before we get to the frankly Orwellian approach that technology gives us these days. I mean, I don't know about you, I would hate to be wearing a piece of equipment that was tracking my every move day in, day out, all the time. You know, that would be just terrible if I was doing something like that. I wanted to be a bit balanced as I was looking into this, so I had a little look at what some organisations that sell this software say online. And I came up with some really interesting quotes, which I will share with you now. There is one organisation that promises to reduce absenteeism and prevent time theft. So time theft was a new concept to me. I've seen oxygen theft, but I've not seen time theft. We provide efficient solutions to optimise the time of your human capital. So again, how does clocking in and out make people optimise their time? And X piece of software makes easy work of the tedious tasks involved with monitoring employee time and attendance, helps you control your labour costs, minimise compliance risk, and improve workforce productivity. Now, if there was a piece of software that really did that, I think we'd all be buying it. But I don't think one that actually measures like how many hours people are in work is really going to achieve that. Here's an alternative. Don't spend thousands of pounds on expensive software to monitor your employees clocking in and clocking out if you don't need to. Trust your staff, empower them and empower your managers to be able to manage the very, very minute percentage of people who inevitably will take the mickey. I think this is one area where we in HR have been guilty of making policy for the sort of 2 to 5% of people who might take the mickey. And therefore, I suggest it goes into Room 101.